Hello, Digital Archive Associates. In this video, I will show you how to add missing pieces to WordPress. Let's look at it quickly. You'll open up WordPress, click Add New Piece. You'll add the piece title. You'll add the piece type. Search for it and add it. You'll add the archive journal or the journal. You'll add the writer, and then you'll add the text. I will provide you the text. We have all of the pieces stored in a OneDrive, and if you're missing pieces in WordPress, I can send them to you. So let's look at one that I started to do. And so you can end now if you feel comfortable. But if you want to see me do one, here we go. So this one I started to do, and I stopped because I wanted to double check to make sure I had the right piece type. So I copied the proper title. You'll notice in our tracking sheet for book reviews especially, sometimes there's extra information in the title. That's just for us on the back end. So to make sure you have the proper title, you'll come in and you'll look at the original piece. There it is, Toward a Method for Musicology. So I copied and pasted that in, and then I saved the draft. Then I added the journal, Fall 1980, and I connected to that. That hasn't been published yet, so it's still in draft form, but it's all good. Then I added the author, Henry Woodward, and then I was like, I've got to remember what we use for the piece type. Typically, when you have a piece type that is just the genre and not a special section or feature, you're going to use one of these genre piece types. So here it says that there is a special section called books. Let's look at the front matter because context is everything. The special section called books, yeah, that's just kind of like a common section. It's not a special section. A special section would be something like literature and the professors, a symposium. That's an important section. But something like books, that's just a genre. Two poems, that's just a poetry genre. We don't need two poems as a special section. So you have to kind of think about the piece types. You don't have to think about them too much because Jackson and Nilo are going to update all of them when we're done. But I'm going to come in here and I'm going to choose book reviews for the piece type. So let me come in here and do that. Book reviews, book reviews. That's the other thing. I don't know if it's supposed to be book review or book reviews. I'll choose book reviews. Like I said, Jackson and Nilo are going to clean this up later. Okay, so now I'm going to save that draft. Now you'll notice that the text is still a mess. It still needs to be formatted. And then after you're finished formatting, you need to mark it as complete, and somebody else is going to come in and proof it, and they're going to mark it as final proof and done. So the kinds of things you're going to want to look for is, you'll notice in this, we've got a lot of stuff that just needs to be deleted. You know, Kenyon College is collaborating. That's not part of the text. So you want to go through and clean it up. You're going to want to do things like make sure that the book title at the top is properly formatted. You know what to do. If there's an image, you're going to want to put the image in, and then someone else or you will proof it a second time after you've stepped away from it. And then we're done. And that's how you take care of add a journal. You can stop now if you want and just close it. or you can keep watching. I'm going to do one more. So I'm going to add a piece. It says, I'll add a piece, which I've done. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to choose editorial notes. So let's see here. Concerning the symposium, I'll copy it, come in here and add it. I'm going to scroll down. Well, first I'm going to add editorial notes. And I'll save. And you know what? Editorial notes also has nonfiction, so I'm going to add nonfiction as the second piece type. When I do that, I have two piece types now. Notice that WordPress asks you to select a primary piece type. Editorial notes is the primary piece type. Nonfiction is the secondary piece type. Save that draft. I'm going to slowly scroll down now. And I'm going to add the journal. We know this is 1940 fall. Save the draft. I'm going to come in and add the author. So the author is JCR. So let me search for J period. Whoops a daisy, J period. Come on, why don't I have my caps? J period, JCR. There we go. And that's done. Save the draft. Now I'm going to search for this piece. First, let's look at the front matter, because context is everything. Concerning the symposium. Let's see here. That must be this piece here, editorial notes on page 476. Let me see if I'm right. I'm going to scroll over and look at the JSTOR. It is editorial notes concerning the symposium. So I can't remember if this is one of those situations where we're supposed to put editorial notes concerning the symposium. I know that we're doing that for introductions. And I know for some weird reason, sometimes the pieces came in as editorial notes concerning the symposium. And sometimes they just come in as the title. I do know that because we are adding the piece type, it's going to eventually, let's look at a preview. It's going to eventually, is this going to show up? It's going to eventually show up under here with the author's name and all of the information we need, like the piece type information will be in the header. So we probably don't have to worry about it. I don't know why we did it with introduction, just because it's weird to search for introduction and get 100 million pieces just called introduction. We don't have to worry about it here, I don't think. Again, this is something that's probably going to be cleaned up later by Jackson. Okay, so let's see here. Let me go back. So now I'm going to search for editorial notes. And that was by JCR. Let's see here. Open that up. Open up the original. Open up the text. Put my cursor in the text. Control A to select all of the text. Control C to copy it. Control V to paste it. I know for a fact that this is supposed to be on the right. Control Z. Okay. This is supposed to be on the right side. Remember, we want to keep the editor's initials. I'll save that. And then you'll come in and you're going to clean it all up. You'll look at the original and you'll clean it up just like you always have. So we know we don't need that. You'll get rid of any instance where you've got Kenyon College and the review and JSTOR and all that. Then you'll go through and clean it up properly. I just showed you one thing. It doesn't mean it's clean. It needs to be formatted. After you've formatted it, you'll save the draft. You'll come in here. Let me just show that this one's been done. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to choose complete. And then someone will proof it and publish it later, or you will proof it and publish it later. You just want to step away from it and then come back to it with fresh eyes. And we are done.